What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to Outlaws Wrestling Podcast. This is your first time checking out, listen to this video. Consider subscribe, brother, because every Friday we have wrestling podcast news for you. I clicked the notification bell because it lets you know when the wrestling podcast is up. All right, on to you, Mike.
Thank you, Hulk Hogan. So this week we're going to talk about the Raw results, SmackDown results, Impact Wrestling, AEW news, Halftime Heat as well, and AEW Wrestling news finals going on. All right, let's get on to Halftime Heat. So let's get to Halftime Heat. So yeah, I was watching the Super Bowl. I really wasn't interested in, I saw a couple, halftime of Maroon 5, but then I checked out W Network and I saw, oh wow, Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black, Ricochet versus Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole. My God, I thought that Halftime Heat six-man match was really good. And what was really good about that match, they had it at the WWE Performance Center. I saw the match. I mean, God, all the wrestlers did the good moves. Aleister Black kicked the wrestler to his finishing move. Gargano did one of his suplex moves, and Ciampa tried to do a submission move, and Cole did his Adam Cole, baby. Super kick to the face. Ricochet did this pretty cool finishing move of his, but at the end, Velveteen hit him the purple drop and pinned him 1, 2, 3. I thought it was a really good Halftime Heat show. WWE's doing a really good job with Triple H. Hopefully when they bring these wrestlers up, they don't make them a joke. Alright, let's get on to Raw. If it's me, I think they're trying to turn Becky Lynch face right now. I mean, she's a badass tweener. Kind of a face and heel, but the fans love her a lot. But she came out on Raw, invited by Stephanie. Stephanie called her out. Stephanie said, I see your leg is all messed up. You want to face Ronda Rousey, WrestleMania? Get your leg checked out. And she's like, no, she doesn't want to ruin her moment. So basically, she told her no, and then Stephanie suspended her. And Becky ended up putting her in a disarmer. Got out of there. And then at the end, Ronda's in her face saying, you're too scared of me. Because, I'll own you at WrestleMania. And another match we'll get to, the Revival won a Fatal 4-Way match. So they're going to be facing the Team Glorious again. Revival's a really good tag team. I just wish they had pushed them too good. And then another thing on Raw, what happened was Ronda Rousey wrestled against two wrestlers. She had two matches. She faced off Liv Morgan, made her tap out of her armbar. Then she had another match against Sarah Logan, made her tap out. It was a pretty good show. And then you had Bayley and Sasha versus Cross and Alicia Fox. Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox. Thought this was a pretty good match, but at the end, Team Boss won. And then they're going to go at the Chamber for the tag team titles. Hopefully they win. They're my pick. But one thing I really thought was really good on the show, I like seeing a moment of bliss where EC3 came out. And then Dean Ambrose, Nikki and Nia Jax interrupted EC3 before he was about to speak. And then Ambrose comes out and says, I have a problem for you. I have something saying, it's like, Nia, you have a crush on me. And I was like, what? He said his sexual magnetism was pretty funny. And then after that, basically, Ambrose was asking Alexa, who is this? Is EC3. EC3 said, I'm going to ask you rapid questions. Who are you? Where are you from? What is EC? Is EC1, EC1, 2? He says, let's get in this ring. He called him a mute Chippendale, and he got smacked right in the face. He said, are you a Creed fan too? I thought that was pretty funny and almost had the Ambrose Asylum. That's the Dean Ambrose we need to see. Ambrose had a match against EC3. He lost, got pinned 1, 2, 3. And he looked shocked over the match. And then they had Kurt Angle come out during the show. Looks like he was about to announce his retirement, but then McIntyre and Baron Corbin was coming after him, attack him. Braun Strowman comes up. They have a tag team match in the main event. Braun Strowman teams up with Kurt Angle against McIntyre and Baron Corbin. They get disqualified because Corbin got his butt kicked by Braun Strowman. I'm looking forward to what they do with Kurt Angle. Hopefully he doesn't retire. He's a really good wrestler. Alright, well that's all for Raw. Let's get to SmackDown. First off, I did not go to SmackDown. I watched the show. I thought it was a really good show. First off, Charlotte comes out. This is Becky Lynch. And then Becky Lynch comes out, gets in her face. And Triple H gets in her face and says, go home, Becky. And then basically Becky slaps him right in the face. She doesn't want her moment. She wants me to. He says, "Get your knee checked out, cleared by doctors, and you can main event WrestleMania against Ronda." Or are you scared? Yeah, that's what she slapped in the face. But then she just walked back to the back with security guards getting in her face, and then that was it. But then Daniel Bryan comes out and says good stuff about Washington State. The fans were cheering him. He almost looked like a babyface that whole night on the show. It was a really good show. And but Rowan got booed. And then when he said stuff, fans were booing for the global audience because it's like the fans just love Daniel Bryan in Washington State because that is his hometown. All right. But he was going to wrestle Jeff Hardy in the main event. Let's get to some matches. Andrade said he's glad he beat up Rey Mysterio, called him a joke and all that stuff. Hopefully down the lane they later on turn Andrade face. Then they had Randy Orton versus Mustafa Ali. I thought it was pretty cool at the end when Mustafa Ali tried to go for his 450 right into an RKO out of nowhere. Good match. 1, 2, 3. Then Samoa Joe tried to attack Randy Orton, and he put him in a sleeper. But let's get to some of the matches. Naomi and Carmella against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and against the Iconics. Mandy Rose ended up winning, but they've actually added Carmella and Naomi in the tag team match for tag team championship, women's tag team championship at Elimination Chamber. So that's gonna be a good match. And then let's get to the main event. Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy. I thought it was a really good match. Did it good, but it sadly ended in disqualification because AJ Styles came out, fought. Randy Orton fought. So did Samoa Joe. Daniel Bryan. Then Daniel Bryan looks at the show. Is like, no. That's kind of funny. That's the end of SmackDown.
So let's get to Impact Wrestling. So here's some matches I'm going to go over that I saw. Lucha Brothers and Taurus versus LAX and Daga. A good match. Lucha Brothers and Taurus won. And they're going to be going for the Tag Team Championship soon. So hopefully Lucha Brothers win. And by the way, they signed with AEW as well. They had a match. GW. Oh, that's an old match. Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake versus Dez and Wentz. The Rascals, they call. The winners are Eli Drake and Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards is doing a really good job as a face. He's pretty funny. Maybe it's a hint they might be turning Eli Drake face. Possibly. We don't know yet. Tessa Blanchard's claiming that it was Gail Kim's fault. She's not. She's suspended. She's complaining. And she's her suspension's up on the 15th and Ty be ready for a rematch. Tessa, she's also in WoW. I'll probably talk about WoW later on. Another match that I saw was Fallah Bahh versus Psycho Clown. Psycho Clown, he's a pretty crazy wrestler, man. Psycho Clown beat him with a roll-up. They've had a good feud in the past. They're basically in Mexico when they did these matches. And then they had the main event, Killer Cross and Moose versus Johnny Impact and Brian Cage. Your winner were Killer Cross, then Moose with a spear. Basically, let's see how the ending went. Right after being kicked in the head by his partner, Cage saves him from Cross with a clothesline, only to be pushed by Johnny for helping him. Moose spears Johnny and pins. Cage chooses to stand and watch Johnny take the fall. And that's all, folks. Cross and Moose celebrate their victory. So basically, Johnny Impact's going to be facing Moose. No. Johnny Impact's going to be facing Brian Cage, I think next week on Impact. So I'm looking forward to the match. All right, that's all for Impact. Let's go to AEW. So apparently Kenny Omega has signed with AEW finally. He's the executive vice president of AEW. Wow. And there's rumors right now that Dean Ambrose is in contacts with AEW because his contract's going to be, and he didn't renew his contract. So after WrestleMania, probably be going to AEW as John Moxley. Oh, I liked when he was John Moxley. And then Randy Orton's contract doesn't expire till next year. AEW is trying to negotiate with him, as well as negotiate with Brock Lesnar. You know, I would like to see Brock Lesnar sign with AEW. That will really make WWE better, and maybe Dean Ambrose would consider staying with WWE. Because he's like, wow, he signed. I guess I could be the top heel of the company. But we'll have to see what happens. But AEW Wrestling Double or Nothing doesn't come until May 25th. I'm hearing rumors that they're going to get their contract right now with TNT. I don't know what's going to happen, but one thing I can tell you about AEW, when Kenny Omega came aboard, Jericho attacked him, so it looks like they're going to have a Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho feud. Now that's awesome. Jericho does a really good job as a heel. He's not too bad as a face as well, but he's always been best as a heel. But looking forward to Double or Nothing. I don't know if I'll get the pay-per-view, but I'm going to be getting... I do have TNT, and when I come to TNT, probably won't be watching Impact more. I'm mostly watching a lot of AEW. All Elite Wrestling, brother. All right, well, thanks for listening to my wrestling podcast, guys. Have a nice one, and we'll get you in next time for another wrestling podcast. Anyways, thanks for checking out, listening to my podcast. Anyways, ooh, yeah, dig it! Take care, everybody.